the world that was founded on a creed. Dear fellow homeschoolers, parents, and guests, today it is my honor and privilege to remind you of that very same creed, the Declaration of Independence. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands that have connected them with another, and to sue among the powers of the earth, the separate and equal stations to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitles them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish them, and to institute a new government, laying its principles on such foundation and organizing its powers in such form. It will seem more likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate the governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces the design of absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them from altering from their former systems of government. The history of the present king of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having a direct object, the establishment of an absolute tyranny upon the state. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character thus marks every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress assembled, appealing before the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions due, and the name and authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these colonies are and ought to be free and independent states, and that they're absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally destroyed, and as independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on this divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Did you know there were 56 founding fathers who signed the Declaration of Independence, knowing full well that the might of the British Empire would soon be set against their very well-being. Out of these, 5 were captured and tortured to death. 9 fought and died of wounds. 12 lost their homes and their family fortunes. Few lost their children to the war, and many were thrown into prisons. But through it all, they maintained one thing before their God and their countrymen: their sacred honor. Thank you.